China's J-15T, a modified version of the J-15 Flying Shark, is a carrier-based fighter derived from the outdated Soviet-era Su-33. Despite being upgraded for electromagnetic catapult (EMALS) launches from China's Type 003 aircraft carrier Fujian, the J-15T is still fundamentally based on a foreign airframe designed over 3 decades ago. The aircraft's basic design reflects the limitations of China's aviation industry, which continues to struggle with original innovation, often relying on reverse engineering of foreign platforms due to persistent gaps in advanced aeronautical design and engine manufacturing. The J-15T is heavier than modern Western naval fighters and continues to face reliability issues. Historically, China's naval aviation has suffered multiple setbacks, including pilot training accidents, airframe losses, and limited sortie rates. Carrier-based operations are among the most complex military undertakings, requiring immense institutional knowledge, which the U.S. Navy has developed over 100 years. China is attempting to rapidly replicate these capabilities, but it lacks real-world experience, particularly in sustained blue water operations and joint task force deployment under combat conditions. The PL-15 air-to-air missile, which the J-15T can carry, is presented by Chinese state media as a long-range, high-speed missile designed to exceed U.S. weapons like the AIM-120D. While the PL-15's range is claimed to be between 200 to 300 kilometers for the domestic variant, these figures are speculative and unverified by independent Western sources. Export versions are officially capped at 145 kilometers due to international missile technology control agreements. The PL-15 uses an active radar seeker with a two-way data link, features already present in current U.S. systems such as the AIM-120 and the upcoming AIM-260 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile (JATM), which is being developed specifically to counter such emerging threats. Despite claims of advanced capabilities, the operational reliability and combat readiness of both the J-15T and PL-15 are unproven. Unlike the U.S., which has tested its weapons systems in real combat and has a long-standing record of interoperability, endurance, and global power projection, China has not deployed these systems in any actual conflict. There is no credible evidence that the PL-15 has been fired in operational conditions or that the J-15T can conduct sustained high-performance launches and recoveries at sea under varying weather and battle conditions. China's new aircraft carrier Fujian, which uses EMALS like the U.S. Navy's Gerald R. Ford class, is still undergoing trials and has not reached full operational capability. Meanwhile, the U.S. has already integrated EMALS into active service and conducted thousands of launches and recoveries across multiple aircraft types. The U.S. Navy also maintains global carrier strike group deployment capabilities that China has yet to match in either scale or sophistication. China's naval aviation program faces numerous obstacles, including low pilot training hours compared to the U.S. Navy, lack of real-world carrier strike experience, immature maintenance infrastructure for large-scale sea operations, and questionable engine performance. The WS-10 engines used in the J-15T have known reliability issues, especially under high-stress maritime conditions. By contrast, U.S. fighters such as the F/A-18E, F-Super Hornet and F-35C use battle-proven, high-thrust, high-reliability engines capable of extended carrier operations with robust logistical support worldwide. The U.S. response to the PL-15 and J-15T is technologically and strategically superior. The AIM-260 JATM, currently in final stages of development, will provide superior range and speed compared to both the AIM-120 and likely the PL-15. U.S. fighters, especially the stealthy F-22 and F-35, use advanced radar, sensor fusion, and data sharing capabilities to detect, engage, and destroy threats long before adversary aircraft can respond. The U.S. Navy also employs advanced E-2D Hawkeye early warning aircraft and AEGIS-equipped cruisers and destroyers capable of detecting and intercepting threats far from the carrier itself. Furthermore, even if the PL-15 poses a theoretical threat to large support aircraft such as AWACS or tankers, the actual targeting and kill chain capability of the PLA Navy is questionable. Long-range missile effectiveness depends on accurate real-time targeting and mid-course guidance, which requires satellite, over-the-horizon radar, or airborne surveillance. China's ability to maintain this targeting network in a contested electronic warfare environment remains unproven and likely vulnerable to U.S. cyber and electronic countermeasures. U.S. forces train extensively for electronic warfare, contested airspace, and anti-access area denial A2AD environments, areas where China lacks operational depth. In real combat conditions, a J-15T attempting to approach a U.S. carrier would be detected at long range, jammed, tracked, and intercepted well before reaching missile launch range. The U.S. Navy's multi-layered defense includes combat air patrols CAP of stealth and non-stealth fighters, long-range surface-to-air missiles like the SM-6, and close-in defenses such as ESSM and RAM systems. Any single Chinese aircraft approaching a U.S. carrier would face coordinated, overwhelming firepower and network defense systems refined over decades of combat simulation and operational experience. Ultimately, while the J-15T and PL-15 represent improvements in China's domestic military industry, they do not present a decisive or even equal challenge to U.S. carrier strike group superiority. The United States retains a qualitative edge in technology, training, operational experience, logistical infrastructure, and global power projection. Carrier-based aviation is a domain where the U.S. is unmatched, capable of sustained combat operations anywhere on Earth, a capability China is still years or decades away from realistically achieving. In every measurable category, pilot skill, weapons integration, radar, stealth, logistical reach, or command and control, the U.S. remains dominant, and any attempt to frame the J-15T, PL-15 combo as a game-changer for China is more consistent with internal propaganda than external military reality.